Hi, my name's Leo and I'm a boat builder and a sailor. In the last video I was working on the engine with Tally-ho moored in Campbell River, and in this video I have one more important job to do before leaving the marina and losing access to the shore power, and that is to repair a problem with the hybrid electric drive system which also charges our batteries. I'm also going to talk about how the hybrid motor has been working for me generally and if I'm really glad about having that system installed or not. Another reason I'm in Campbell River is to pick up my partner Marit, and after she gets back on board we'll be hoisting full sail and heading back out into the beautiful scenery of Desolation Sound. First though, in order to work on the hybrid system I've got to take apart my bunk. The reason I'm working on the hybrid is that a small component on the printed circuit board inside this hybrid controller has stopped working. That particular component prevents overcharging when the engine is revving too high, and although I can actually bypass it for the short term, it does actually leave the system vulnerable to serious damage. Okay, so a couple of things to mention before I get stuck in. Firstly, thank God for service loops. Joe was kind enough to leave me enough cable that I can actually get this out and work on it up here, which makes it a lot easier. Secondly, a lot of people have been asking if I've been using the hybrid system, if I use the electric drive, and it has two functions, right, the hybrid system. One function is to drive the propellers, and the other function is to generate electricity. When the engine is on, the motors turn into generators and generate a lot of electricity so I can recharge the large battery bank under the companionway steps. Now what I've found is that if I'm plugging into shore power regularly and charging the battery that way, then yes, I use the hybrid electric drive very often. Bye. You have a good trip too. But if I'm out in anchorages and places where I'm not plugging in, which is what I'm doing most of the time, then I'm not using electric drive so much, because typically what happens is that I would need to run the engine anyway to generate the electricity that it takes to run the electric drive. Now if I had big solar panels, or if I was in a position where I was plugging the boat into shore power every day or two, then I would likely be using the electric drive a lot more. And I would like to get some solar panels of some kind, maybe ones that can unfold on deck or something, but they'd have to be pretty big to actually generate enough electricity to use the electric drive. All that being said, I do use the electric drive pretty regularly, but usually just not for very long periods of time. Now the other function, the generator function, is critical to the way that this boat is set up. And I know there's a lot to be said for a simpler setup where you don't need so much electricity, but I think what a lot of people don't take into account is that this boat for me is not just a home, it's also a kind of an office space. It's where I produce these videos. I have quite a lot of equipment that needs to charge, you know, cameras, my editing computer, all sorts of bits and pieces. So actually being able to generate and store a lot of electricity is actually really useful for what I do. It also means I'm able to use an electric oven, which is great because I don't have to have propane on board at all. And as I'm sure you know, propane, although it can be managed safely, is actually a pretty dangerous fuel to have on a boat, because if there's any leak it'll sink and it'll gather in the bottom, the bilge of the boat. Of course you can have alarms, you can have the tank outside, there's ways to manage it, but it's very nice not to have propane at all, and also I don't have to worry about refilling my propane. I only have one fuel source on board, diesel, and I have very big tanks. Now in general, this idea that simpler is better is something that I really do agree with, but the other side of that is, again, that this is the technology that actually lets me make videos and earn my living and pay for the boat, pay for the maintenance of the boat, and all the costs of the new sails and the materials that are going to be coming soon. Every few months and years, it's going to be big costs. And so having this sort of technology makes this actually into a kind of functional workspace for me. I would really love to live on a very simple boat, no GPS, no electricity at all, no engine. I mean, that was my previous boat, and I love that. But it takes time to operate a boat like that, to use a sextant to do astronavigation. Moving the boat without an engine takes a lot of time. I don't think I'd be able to live that kind of lifestyle and be able to have the time to make and edit videos. And at the moment I've chosen to prioritize continuing to make videos and continuing to earn the money that keeps the boat going. So it's a trade-off. I totally understand simple is better in many ways, especially when it comes to boats, but this is the setup that lets me live this unusual lifestyle, lets me continue to earn a living and actually support myself and the boat. Alright, now I'm finally going to start actually working on this, see if I can get this printed circuit board, PCB, out of here and replace with the new one that Hybrid Marine sent me. So I'm taking lots of photos so I can remember where things go, and this is the kind of hack I did to bypass the faulty safety device that cuts off the charging if the revs get too high on the engine. Well, it's time to test the system now that the new circuit board's been wired in. This lever is the control for the shaft clutch. If I want to run this as a generator without spinning the propeller, I just use this, and that disengages the shaft clutch, which is down here, and that means the engine can run in gear without spinning the propeller. Okay, well, I'm really relieved to say that the hybrid is functioning properly. Now, although the hybrid system is a little bit more complicated than just a diesel engine on its own, the whole point of it, as it's set up on this boat, is to provide redundancy. So the two systems, the electric and the diesel, are very separate in most ways. So if either one fails, the other one should work as a backup. Now, it's been a good couple of days in Campbell River getting the valve clearances sorted yesterday and getting this fixed today. Those are the two jobs that I wanted to do while plugged into shore power. But I am excited to get out of here and get back into the more beautiful parts of British Columbia, and well, really start heading south again, because got to make tracks to be in the right place to depart for Mexico in just a couple of weeks. Hey Marit, welcome back.
Hi.
What's going on? Where have you been? When did you get back?
I just got back today. Very excited to be back. It feels good to be back on the water. I was just in Washington doing some family stuff and fiddle tunes and playing a show. Now we are about to head south to get ready for our trip to Mexico. So go stage in Victoria, but before we do that, we're gonna stop in one more anchorage in Desolation Sound. I'm very excited about it because there's good wind today and we're gonna sail there.
Very nice. Well, we just had a really lovely sail, and it was actually the first time that Marit and I have got all the sails up together with just the two of us at topsails as well. So that was fun, and just beautiful weather for it, beautiful scenery.
Smell that?
What's in the pot?
Oyster mushrooms.
Where'd they come from?
Harvested them ashore today.
Wow.
Yeah. Used a giant stick to get them down from a standing dead alder.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're not going to kill us if we eat them?
They're definitely not going to kill us. They might, yeah. They're so delicious it might kill us, but...
But that's it for now, so thanks a lot for watching, and as always, a massive, massive thank you to everyone who has donated or otherwise supported the project and the channel. It does make a huge difference. It means that we're able to keep on sailing and maintaining this boat, and of course making these videos, so I really, really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Cheers.